Yesterday, we told you how the Michigan Department of Transportation is participating in a pilot program, testing out a liquid de-icer as a way to reduce salt on the roadways. It's no secret, road salt isn't good for the environment. Today, we're diving a little deeper into a study regarding salt that's flowing into Lake Michigan.
The primary purpose of this study was to look at not chloride, but rather to look at how much nitrogen and phosphorus was in those stream samples.
Anthony Kendall is a research assistant professor at Michigan State University. He collaborated on the study with scientists Rob Mooney and Hillary Dugan at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
We are very concerned right now about the amounts of nitrogen and phosphorus that make it into the Great Lakes, because those two, what we call nutrients, which are critical for life, are leading to things like harmful algal blooms and changes in ecosystems that are disrupting fisheries.
He says these are concerns all across the Great Lakes, but after collecting water samples from streams around the shore of Lake Michigan, they found an additional concern: chloride, a byproduct of dissolving salt. Using the data collected in 2018 from over 200 locations, they discovered that road salt and other salt resources created by humans are increasing the lake's saltiness.
So the darkest color blue is between 0 and 10. And then as the blues get lighter, that means higher and higher values. Here in yellow, we get values of chloride between 10 and 1,000 milligrams per liter. Anything above 1,000 milligrams per liter is a very high chloride value, and one where we would expect that is causing immediate consequences for those ecosystems.
In fact, they found that chloride concentrations have multiplied over the last 2 centuries. In the 1800s, levels sat at 1 to 2 milligrams per liter of water. In 2020, it was 15.
So if we're talking about Lake Michigan and whether chloride is a threat, the answer is not right now. Where you have a lot of road salt and septic tanks around smaller streams, smaller wetlands, and that's when we can start to see chloride levels get up to values that start to threaten ecosystems that are adapted to fresh water.
And the interesting part of all of this,
so the water in the streams was all coming from the ground, or nearly all of it. So this groundwater that supplies Michigan and Wisconsin's lakes and streams with water during the summertime is what contains the chloride. So groundwater now carries the chloride contamination from our activities that happen at the surface.
he says groundwater has very long travel times.
It can take 10 or 100 or even longer years for groundwater to move from the point where it starts on the land surface through the groundwater system and end up in a stream, lake, or wetland somewhere in the basin. We could have a very long legacy of our decisions today, and that's one of the reasons why it's important to pay attention now. The sooner we change it, the sooner differences can start to happen.
Kendall says things you can do to help include skipping salting your driveway if you can, and using water softeners selectively.
But the big use is the chloride and the salt that we use on our roads. And there, MDOT is actually working pretty hard to encourage county-level departments of transportation to use more salt-friendly methods. Not everything is an immediate threat, but it can often be something that we need to keep an eye out for, and that we need to be aware of, and we need to monitor.
For Fox 47 News, I'm Tiana Jenkins.